a whole fight with a digital nomad. It just showed me that no man. Seriously, bahamba nini? She posted a clip of her apartment in Cape Town. She was like, my South African girl apartment. Just an American girl doing what she wants, whatever. And I just couldn't hold myself. I was like, another digital nomad? and then she said, living legally in a very poor economy, paying taxes, soaking up the culture. Yes, to the fingers. Same energy for your white counterparts who placed you and your ancestors in the position that you in. And I said, excuse me, what? You said what? So I said, spoken like a privileged Westerner, I expect nothing less. Because why is that your first response to someone just saying digital nomad? Then she says, South Africans are the most unwelcoming people I have ever met. You thought you could take jabs at me on my page and I would buckle? Are you mad? Take your hateful comments somewhere else. And I'm like, if we're the most unwelcoming people you've ever met, why are you sitting, living comfortably in Cape Town, South Africa? Why are you here? Like, is it by force? So I said, there's nothing hateful about me calling you what you are, a digital nomad. Why does that trigger you? And then she's like, I pray you never have family members or friends abroad who are treated horribly for being where they're from and told to go back home. And then I said, my family members aren't gentrifiers. Black people from the developing world don't have the power to gentrify and displace locals in the Western world, you know? And then she's like, here's smart girl. I know a lot of South Africans move abroad for opportunity and quality of life due to lack in your country. We pray that those South Africans are welcomed wherever. I'm like, then she's like, you need to find a hobby or something lucrative to do. You don't have the range for these conversations. Same energy for your white counterparts, please. Go and have the day you deserve. And this is what really bothers me about the influx of digital nomads in South Africa. Like, besides the fact that they're displacing locals, they still come here with that superior Western mindset. How many times did she mention that South Africa is a poor economy? How many times did she say South Africans are leaving South Africa because of lack in our country? And I'm tempted to ask, if South Africa is so lacking, why are you here? Who called you to be here? Like the very same people making fun of us for living in huts or saying the most derogatory things about Africa or South Africa in particular are the same people who are moving here as digital nomads and gentrifying our cities, pushing us further and further from the economic hub of the very same cities that we built. Yes, there are South Africans who move overseas, but this cannot be compared to a Westerner moving to a developing country like South Africa. Here's why. First of all, the power dynamics are already off. We know that Western countries have more power because they have more resources. Resources that they've stolen and continue to steal from developing nations like South Africa. So when a person who has benefited from living in the West and all the privilege that comes with living in a country that is powerful, a country that can literally topple governments when it wants to, when that person who also has access to the dollar moves to a developing country and pushes out locals, do you not see how messed up that is? That is not the same thing as Thabo. Thabo, who is a victim of apartheid, who is probably the first generation graduate in his family, getting a job in America and using that as an opportunity to make something of himself or to expand his career opportunities. Secondly, a black, colored, or Indian South African moving abroad. They are taking their brain power, they're taking their mental resources with them from South Africa to benefit that foreign country. So the foreign country is not losing anything. In fact, they are gaining so much by having South Africans work there. And South Africans have a reputation of being hardworking people, which is why so many countries are eager to hire us. But you cannot compare that to being a digital nomad, because if I move to America, I am benefiting the system. I'm taking my labor, my tax, my mental resources away from my home country, which has already experienced colonization, which has already experienced apartheid, experienced neoliberal policies that are affecting its growth and affecting our lives here. And I'm taking my youth, my power, and I'm giving it to the West. Whereas if a Westerner comes here, realistically, what are they bringing except the dollar? And who does the dollar benefit when they bring it here? Not you, not me. It benefits the 1% at the top. So yeah, we're not going to be able to afford property in a country that our forefathers fought for. They literally unalived for us to live here, and we can't afford it. Are you okay with that? This person just said, when black and colored people occupy the city center and suburbs in Cape Town, it depreciates in value, and that it's okay for digital nomads to take over since the locals can't. Okay. Like, what? This is literally just apartheid 2.0. Like,
they're just telling us that they do corruption much better. That as criminals, they are much better at doing it than we are, because when we do it, we don't have the ability to corrupt better like them. That is why they should live in those areas, because they can take care of them. Meanwhile, they are busy involving themselves in politics that affects our country. They have an illegal economy in this country that affects your ability to even get a job. You want a job today, you can't get it because of what? People having underground economy, hiring illegal people that they keep bringing in this country, because some of them, they're trafficked. We need to mention that as well. They bought into this country illegally, and they're making illegal profits. And we wonder why we're not proceeding as a country, as an economy. We're not moving forward. You want to move forward? Well, those are one of your issues. Those are one of those problems. Like, I am not doing this with people. Like, this year is just going to be a little bit different. And I feel like it's just starting, and the year is just feeling way too heavy. Literally heavy. And I'm like, I'm not just pretty much going to be up in arms with this conversation again. Americans just give a bad vibe. And I went to her page, and this is what I said. I said to her, one, I need to remind you something as you enjoy yourself in my country, respectfully so. You are an economic refugee, just like you are going to Red Note, you're a TikTok refugee, okay? The lifestyle that you live here is because you cannot afford it in your developed country. Your picket fence, you can't afford it. You can't afford to be the person that you think you are in my country. Number two, to disrespect locals and talk about my country as poorly as you did, why not remain in your country? She's from Chicago, by the way. Why not remain in your beautiful Chicago? You have the same mindset as whites who have displaced you in America. You are behaving like them. And you get surprised when the locals don't want you. Really?